hunt hungry.
All right, we should be up and running, and we won't take long on this. This isn't Joe Rogan podcast. Nobody wants to hear me talk for 3 hours. I just got a few things, and we can always come back and do another one. And maybe we'll actually get on the same time schedule now, because now we know we don't live in the same time zone.
Yep. That completely slipped my mind.
Yeah, me too. So Zach Mitchell, Palmetto Precision Strings. I got a few things just right out of the gates, like rapid questions, just kind of get to know you. Going back to Joe Rogan again, I've watched his podcast, and like 30 minutes in, I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. So maybe we get to know each other a little better to start off, and then we can always go from there. But what bow or bows are you shooting right now?
I'm shooting PSE Evolve 33. And I just picked up a Mach 34. So I shot Elite for a while. Killed several deer with it, had a Remedy, loved it. But really fell in love with the new PSEs, the 220 shim system, really liked it. That EC2 cam. So I ended up selling the Remedy and picking up a Mach 34.
I'm obviously agreeing with you here. I didn't even mean to do that, but I agree with you. What release are you using right now?
B3 Exit Pro, and I shoot a True Ball Quicksilver, I believe it is, hinge, Fulcrum Flex. That's what it is, Fulcrum Flex. That's the one.
I've heard about that one, never used it. Pretty smooth. You recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it doesn't have the magnet, or I think some of them have a band or something in them. This one doesn't. It's just free floating, and it does good. I enjoy it.
I shot the UltraView 1, and it was like that. No magnet, no band, just a loose. But, once you got it set, it was good.
Yeah, I have a tendency to punch with my thumb button. And so my hinge keeps me honest, man.
As honest as it can for me. I'll still punch a hinge like anything else. But
yeah.
What arrows you shooting right now?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a loaded question. Right now I have a mixed bag. I've got Ultra. I've got some Black Eagles in. I actually tried out some budget arrows recently. They are the Outlaws, the Black Eagle Outlaws, and like 70 or 80 bucks a dozen. They're standard diameter. Really good for the price. I mean, they're like 005, but they all spun out way, much straighter than that. So I'm trying out some new ones from Whitewater now. I got those on the way. So.
Yeah, I went to some of these Shot 3D and tags. There are people that are like, they swear by just get cheap arrows. If you blow them up, who cares? I'm like, maybe something to that. I'm spending a lot more money on arrows, and it hurts a lot worse when you lose one.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid or not repping anybody, but those Black Eagle Outlaws, man, for the money, those are really good. So
I'm gonna have to try them. Did you kill any deer last season?
I killed a couple of does, no bucks. Haven't killed a rack buck in several years now.
You passing them, or just hard to find out there?
Both. Year before last, I passed several scrubs. Just watched them far and stuff like that. But a mature buck out here for me is I can't buy one. Can't seem to. You can get some 2-year-olds, daylighting stuff like that. But a good 4-year-old plus buck, excuse me. That's tough for me. I mean, I also think that I would argue
you in South Carolina?
Yeah, coastal South Carolina. So I would argue I probably live in one of the hardest places in the country for whitetail deer hunting.
Yeah, I've heard that from other people out there on a different podcast.
I would actually like to start some kind of videography, videoing my hunts and stuff. But really, what keeps me from that is it might take 15 hunts to even, have any kind of rack buck, much less a mature buck.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. That's hard hunting. All right, so Palmetto Precision Strings. I've got them on, I guess, fixing me on 2 bows, and I'm going to get them on a 3rd bow. And, man, I love them. I think you do a great job. Like, what you do, your craft. I don't know anything about string making. I don't know anything about strings. You ask me, like, do you want this DV75B, whatever, and I have no clue what that means, so I just leave it up to you. So that's why I thought it'd be cool to get you on here and just talk, tell us a little bit about the string making stuff. They are you do a really good job. The colors look great. Like, it's cool to be able to be like, these are the knocks I shoot, and man, they fit perfect. Because to me, knock pinch is very important. Like, if you're
Yeah.
especially shooting indoor and shooting long range, 100 yards, 120 yards, that makes a world of difference. So, yeah, that's you do a great job at that. What gets you started in string making? Number one, how do you just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to start making some strings?
Honestly, yes, that's pretty much how it went. I love archery, everything
Yeah,
about it. And believe it or not, when I was coming up, I mean, I'm young, people can probably tell that, but, just say 10 years ago when I got into archery, I didn't have any help. I actually missed a couple really good deer for around here, um, in full velvet archery season, and missed them both. Didn't know anything about tuning, didn't know anything about,
yeah,
I didn't realize what a good quality string would really do for the tune of a bow. And really, so I travel for work as a lineman, and I have a lot of time at home, and I was like, what can I do basically to get started in something that I already love every single day? And that's kind of how string building started for me.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how the YouTube thing started with me too. It's like, I enjoy it. I want to do it year round. What can I do? And so, kind of a similar
Yeah.
deal. Like, just start making videos, you put them out, and a while later you got a bunch of videos out. So
Yeah.
that's good. What makes a string good? Like, what makes, when you make strings, like when you're like, man, this string is good. This is perfect for whoever. What is, like? Is it the look? Is it the stretch? What knock fit? What do you
Uh,
think?
so looks are one aspect. I think a lot of people looks are everything, although looks are not everything.
That's funny.
Um, looks are good, but the functionality of it is really what's
Yeah,
most important. It doesn't need to be moving. You don't need to get peep rotation, serving separation. In some cases, hard bends are hard bends. I'll give you an
yeah.
example. The Botex. Those cable bends they have are brutal. I honestly
Mm,
don't. It doesn't really matter how tight it's served and who makes it. Sometimes over time, those hard bends, it's inevitable. For some
yeah,
for some serving separation. And it also depends on the material. I build with VEC
yeah,
99 and 452, depending on who I'm building for and if they know the difference or want the difference. There's a big trend towards VEC 99 lately. I say lately, probably over the last 5 to 10 years. Um, and there are pros and cons. VEC is really, really slick. Um, but at the same time, it's waxless. Their argument is that it's takes less, basically maintenance, over the
gotcha.
452. But the 452 has some wax, so it helps things kind of lay down better. I feel like it honestly, and I might get some flack for this, but I honestly feel like it helps the cam serving grip a little bit better. To keep,
Hmm.
to
With
try
the
to
wax,
maybe, yes,
with the
yes,
wax or the
it
waxless?
with the wax. Yep, that would be the
Okay.
452.
Hmm.
That's just my take on it. I mean, building with both materials. Like I said, pros and cons to both. It really just depends on what you want.
Does the waxless get? I mean, I'm assuming the benefit of waxless is it doesn't get as dirty and gritty as the waxed would be. Is
Yeah,
that a? Am I
that's
dreaming
some
that
of it.
up?
Yeah, that's
I
some
know.
of it, but either way, your fingers and stuff like that, they can really cause it to get dirty. And with the 452, I can take just say like some builder's twine or something, and I can burnish it and get that right off. Whereas when you get that dirt on that waxless, it doesn't come off like that because there's no like protective barrier, so to speak. Um,
Gotcha.
that may
Do
not
I
be the
have
best way to put it, but
Do I have the waxless on that Mach 33?
Mach 33 is the waxless. Yep.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I've had it. I've taken it to Louisiana, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. That may be it. I've had it in a bunch of places shooting and shot a bunch and packs and shot 3Ds, and it's string's really clean. Like, it's not
Yeah.
dirty at all. And my levitate, which I guess last year I took it to a bunch, and maybe my lift as well. Like, I don't know if this is good or not, so correct me if I'm wrong, but take dental floss and like wrap it around and then just kind of work it down the string, and you could
Yep.
see the wax and just crap come off of it.
Yeah.
Somebody taught me that, and but this Mach 33, the strings you built for it, man, they are slick, look good. still rolling strong. So
yeah,
I don't know if
they're
that's
great.
a reason or what.
It's definitely a great material. Like I said, it's slick. Like tying in peats and stuff can be more crucial. Stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I mean, really, and you can
that
take
makes
like
sense.
a dry washcloth, just something that's not a real abrasive, and clean it like that, and you get some of that
Gotcha.
grime off of it too.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned tying in peeps, that's kind of another question I had. Apparently, whatever material I'm using for tying in soft knots and peeps and stuff is not the good stuff. What do you recommend? Like, if somebody was on Lancaster.com and they're going to order the string to tie in peeps and soft knots, what do you recommend?
Okay, so what are you using now? Let me start with that.
I don't know. It doesn't say on the thing.
Okay,
I'm sure I just went to
so
Lancaster and was like, I need some string for peeps or whatever.
so for soft knots, 3D or Halo, probably more Halo. Although Joel Turner is surfacing about some Dacron, 80-pound Dacron fishing braid now,
I've seen
and
that.
they say that's really the cat's meow, if you will. And so I'm getting ready to transition over to that. As far as peep sights, I use 3D mostly.
You know the gauge of what it is? Because I think mine's too thin. I think that's kind of the problem I'm having.
3D is like 16 or 17 thou, like
Yeah,
0.016 or something like that.
I think I'm using 18 is what somebody told me, and they were talking like it's a little too thin. If that makes sense, but I don't know. Again, I don't even know what I bought. It's just I went on Lancaster years ago, and you get a big roll of it. It lasts forever if you're like me. But it cuts into my servings some, when I'm tying soft knots and stuff.
I'll have to double check the 3D because I don't use it a whole lot. The only thing I ever use it for is peeps, and it seems to work fine. But I don't serve. Like some strings out there serve like their cam trikes with 3D, but I use Halo. That's the superior material, and then Power Grip on the center. I have to look into that because I'm thinking the 18 thou may be a little bit too big, and you might even be able to step down some. But
oh, really?
Maybe I'll double check and I'll let you know. But I think
And I might have it backwards because, like I said earlier, I don't know anything about strings.
Yeah. So 14, 16, and 18. 14 being the smallest, 18 being the larger, and then you can get up to 0.021 and 0.025 into crossbow stuff.
I might have it backwards then because what I've been told, mine's too thin, so it may be a 14 or 12 or something. I don't know. I think I had that backwards, but it cuts into the serving and it causes some serving separation sometimes. So I've been told that by my bow tech anyway. So
that's on your
anyway,
nocking point.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, that's where the Dacron fishing line is going to come in. So T-Bone Turner actually, I seen his video a long time ago now. I can't remember. He was actually saying this years ago, and now Joel Turner's surfaced, with it. But T-Bone said the same thing. Is a Dacron fishing line braid. Basically, it's kind of like flat almost, and so it doesn't dig in between the serving on the center serving. Yep.
Well, let me know how that works out for you because I definitely am interested in that. I would definitely try that if you think it works good. I know obviously Joe Turner and Bodie Turner, MFJJ, they all like it, so probably good.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll send you some when I build your strings for your Mach 30. I'll send you some 3D in there for your peep, and you can tell me how it compares to what you have.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a good idea. I appreciate that. So, like I said, we won't to keep you long. I got one more question, and then we'll get off here and let you get back to actually working because you're actually doing some work and being productive. What's your hunting style out there in South Carolina?
Right? Run and gun.
Is it you saddle, lock? You're a climber, saddle guy? Awesome. What saddle are you using?
I'm using the oh man, if you wouldn't ask me, I could have told you. The Latitude method.
Yeah, that's a good one. The 2-panel one with the magnets.
Yep, the 2-panel with the magnets. I like it because the waist belt is not buckles.
Yeah.
And the least amount of metal to me, for the least amount of clanging, is the best. That's just what I like. I can cinch it up and it doesn't move. Some of the things I've had in the past with the buckles, over time it'll loosen up and I have to retighten, and that one's one and done. And I'm a one stick saddle hunter. I one stick.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, I can't
yeah,
do
I
that.
figured out that was the. So I fought it for a lot of years. Good friend of mine that makes knives. He told me, he's like, "This is what you want to do." I'm telling you, and I was like, "No, man, that's crazy." I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. And when I started, I was like, "I'm never going back. This is where it's at." So that's what I do.
Yeah.
I run a gun. We have a good bit of public land here, and so a
Yeah.
lot of public land
I've
hunting.
seen those guys with the one sticking, and to me it looks like I'd be sweated down by the time I got up in the tree. Like, climbing that rope stick and all that, like,
Yeah.
reaching up and stick. I don't know much about it, but a little bit I watched, I was like, I don't trust any piece of rope that much, and I feel like I'd just be sweated down by the time I got up the tree. So
Well, unfortunately, here being sweated down is inevitable. You can't walk
yeah,
outside and stand still. The humidity is
yeah.
awful. But if you take your time, it really is not a lot of force. Greg Staggs has some great videos on it, but yeah,
I'm actually looking
that's kind
into
of where I'm at. I think really it boils down to also but pretty much any tree I can get as high as I
that.
want to go within that 30
Yeah.
foot rappel. I'm not limited to 4 sticks and an 8er or whatever. I can get
Yeah.
as high as I want, basically. And
Yeah.
the metal clinging sticks hanging on me, that was kind of one of the factors too. I mean, it was really tough sometimes. So
Yeah, I hear you on that. I get the appeal to it. I'm just a chicken, I guess. Well, so tell everybody. There may be 4 people that actually watch this, but tell everybody, how do they get a hold of you? What's your socials? Where are you located? Where can they get a hold of you?
yeah, so you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram, Palmetto Precision Strings. Should pull up. You could actually put it in Google and it'll pull up. So
Okay,
Facebook,
awesome. Yeah.
Facebook's probably the number one. Instagram also, even TikTok. So I don't know if
Okay.
you can edit this and put some links in here, but I can send them
I
to
will.
you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put them down in the comments or descriptions, if nothing else, if that makes sense. So
Awesome.
people can find them real quick. Well, man, you do good work, 100%. I think you do awesome work. I'm a big believer in your strings. You do awesome work, and I would tell anybody that. So if anybody's looking for strings for deer season, this is your guy. We'll have links down below. Zach, I appreciate you talking to me, and we'll try to do it again for deer season, man. I know he's got a lot of cool stuff going on, so we'll try to get back together and do it again. So get back to work and get on them strings, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. See you, man.